Hi, welcome to a first in a series of videos meant to demonstrate the Q-Inmass software. Q-Inmass software is the next generation of software for legacy Inmass customers, but also for new customers. It's a common sense ERP system for successful emerging companies. Our mission at Inmass is pretty simple. First of all, we want to help companies that are caught in the gap. The gap is when companies find themselves no longer being able to use QuickBooks, spreadsheets, and Access databases to run their company, but they still don't have the time, money, or personnel to invest in larger mainstream ERP systems. We provide the highest level of business functionality at the lowest possible cost. We want to keep cost of ownership to our clients as low as possible. We have software for both cloud and on-premise implementations, and we have proven that we can go from zero to go live with less than 30 hours of training. This is versus the 300 to 500 hours that comparable size systems in the market require today to get your company up and running. So let's get started. This video demonstrates the navigation and user interface of the Q-Inmass system. To navigate through the various modules, you simply click on that particular module, or you can also click on the plus sign next to that particular module. Clicking the plus sign reveals all of the functionality within that given module. Clicking on the minus sign takes them away from the display. If you want to go deeper into that module, for instance to reports, you click on that item. It lists all of the reports that are available to you. You can make them go away by clicking on the item again, and also with the actual modules, click on the minus sign and you're back to your main menu system. The system allows users to multitask when they're doing their daily work, which is very normal in today's busy environments. So for instance, if you were in the middle of entering a sales order transaction, for instance, it's not uncommon that while you're doing that task, you need to look up some information about inventory, or somebody asks a question about a bill that might be due. We have to multitask. So what you can do, if for instance we needed to look up an inventory item, we can open the item inquiry. What it does is it opens a second tab that you can see across the top here. We can go into the inventory module, get the information that we need, and then when we're done, we simply click back on the sales order entry transaction and we are returned exactly to where we were when we left that function. Up to 10 tabs can be opened at a given time across the top, allowing users the flexibility that they need in a normal work environment. Each data entry screen throughout the system has similar functionality to allow users to do heads down, very quick data entry, and also to make the system very easy to learn. What you will see at the top of the forms are arrows that allow you to either go to the very first record in a given file or to the very last record in a given file. The interior arrows allow you to pan through one record at a time throughout that particular file. When you're ready to save a transaction, you simply click on the disk. If you need to undo a mistake, we have an undo arrow that allows you to back up. And if you want to delete the record completely, you've got the delete button as well. You'll see throughout the forms the blue question marks. What this is it tells you that there's a lookup function for that particular field. So for instance, if we want to look up a customer and all we can remember is the fact that they have the word marine in their name and we really don't remember their entire name or their customer code, we can go out and find all of the customers that have the word marine in the name. We see that we have quite a few, but I remember now that it's Chicago Marine Rigging that I'm looking for. I pick that customer and it pulls it into the sales order form. A couple of other things is we use drop-down menus where possible so that when you have a fixed number of variables, you can select from a drop-down menu rather than having to key those in longhand. The dates, also you can key those in longhand if you want, or you can hit a drop-down calendar, pick the given date that you want, and it will populate that field for you. Finally, we try to keep the forms very clean, so we have the different sections of the sales order designated by tabs. So for instance, if I want to go in and input the line item transactions for this particular sales order, I would go to the Detail Entry tab and enter them there. And while I'm doing that, I have access to purchase history, sales history, and all types of customer data that allows me to get everything I might need while I'm inputting this form. We'll show you more about how we do this in future videos, but for right now, we just want to show you how the data forms work in general throughout the system. Let's take a look at how the reports work in the Q-Inmass system. Each module has a reporting section, and that reporting section lists all of the available reports for that given module. In this case, let's say we want to look at the Purchase Analyzer report. The first thing that you'll see is a group of criteria that allows you to customize this report each time you run it. We can choose one item code or a range of item codes. We can further sort the report by grouping types, and we can even have a range of grouping types. Then we can also pick date ranges. So for instance, if we just want to show year-to-date activity for this year, we can put in January 1st, maybe pick today's date as the ending date, and it's only going to give us data for that given date range. Then it lets us either pick our finished goods items, or we can pick raw material items, or if we just leave this blank, it will take all of the items in our database and print them on the report. We finally have radio buttons that let you sort and format the report by even more criterion, and when you're ready, you click on the Show Now button, and there's your report. You can pan through the report on the screen to get the data that you want, or you can print the report out from this point, or if you want to get fancy and you need something customized for a given vendor or even internally, you can always click on the Microsoft Excel button. That will open up your Excel, and it will place a neat copy of this report into Microsoft Excel for you, and then you can customize it any way you want from that point. Another feature available throughout the entire system is the inquiry feature. Each module comes with an inquiry section, and for example, let's say that we need some information about one of our customers. We can go into the customer inquiry, and we see some familiar faces here. We see the arrows where we can pan through our customer file, or again, we have our lookup function, and we can go in and look up the customer that we need. Once pulled into the form, we will find all of the company information at the top stored in various tabs, and all of the transaction data historically will be stored in tabs at the bottom. So for example, if we wanted to see a sales summary for this given customer, it defaults to 2015 sales data. We can see that all we've had is a return for this year, but if I click on Include All Years and refresh this, then I can go back and see a quarter by quarter sales data for this particular customer all the way back to year 2010. Of course, I can pick 1 year or a range of years and have ultimate flexibility in how that data is presented. In a similar fashion, if I wanted to use this inquiry screen as a collection function, I can pull up all of the open invoices for that given customer. I can see the due date, I can see the amounts, I can even print a statement from here and quickly email it to them or drop it in an envelope if I wanted to print it out. So again, all of the transaction data is stored at the bottom, all of the company data is stored at the top. And each module throughout the system has this type of functionality so that users can get the information they need quickly and efficiently when they need it. The final thing that we want to show you in this video is the dashboard. The dashboard is a list of the most critical items that you need to know on a daily basis to run your business. So for example, if you want to see all of the orders that you should have already shipped by today, it will quickly list those for you and give you the ability to drill down into each specific order. Likewise, if you wanted to see all of the purchase orders that are past due, because we're always concerned about the material coming into the shop so that we can finish our production, those are also available, and the ability to drill down into each one of those. And a final example might be your receivables aging report. You can quickly see how many receivables you have outstanding. If you want to see the details that make up those totals, you click on the drill down button. Then if you want to see a particular invoice, you could click on that and it would go all the way back to the transaction of original entry. In future videos, we will demonstrate specific module functionality and specific transaction functionality, but hopefully this presentation has served its purpose in giving you a brief overview of the look and feel, the navigation, and the data retrieval power of Q-Inmass. Thanks for watching.